What's up, everybody? Ro back with another video. Are you looking to get one of these 5-clown Ferris wheel animatronics, but just not enough information out there? Well, in this video we're going to take a closer look at it, so stay tuned. Alright everybody, I hope you liked that intro. Let's start talking about this 5-clown Ferris wheel. There's a few things that I want to address that almost got me not to buy it because of the information out there that I did find. So I just want to clear the air and maybe make a better video for people out there looking to buy this. So if you are interested and you like what you see, then maybe you might pull the trigger and get one for yourself. Let's get started. Alright everybody, the first thing I want to talk about, which is the number one issue here, is the boxes or the carts that they come in. So the way these are built is there's a metal frame on the inside, and I'll post the picture up with this video and show you what I'm talking about. And then what you do is you get these boxes here and you have to build them, and the cart slips inside, and then you have this pin that slips in. Now when you look at the pictures, this looks like cardboard, and it kind of is cardboard, but when you hear cardboard, what do you think? It's gonna rain, it's gonna deteriorate, it's gonna fall apart, then you're gonna be left with clowns and no carts for them to be in, and you don't really know that there's a metal cart inside actually holding this together. So what I want to talk to you guys about is the cart here first. So let's go over here. So what I have here is a cup of water, and it's been like this, sitting in water. I had this filled to the top, and it's been a little over a week now. And you're asking, what are these? Now, when I built this, I had to puncture these little holes out on all 5 of the carts. Now I almost didn't buy this prop because I saw videos out there saying, oh, it was cardboard. I'm like, but since I'm pretty crafty with my hands, I was like, if it does mess up, I'll just build something new. But when I received it, I kind of had an idea it might be something else besides that, but a lot of people are not going to know that. So that's why I want to clear this up right now. So these have been sitting in here for a little over a week now in water, and they are doing fine. Look at that. I'm rubbing it and it's still intact. So what this is, it's not basically cardboard. It looks like the piece stuck to it might be like a laminated cardboard, which is, I'm saying, like the red coating here, it might be like a laminated cardboard or something. I don't know, because it looks like, if you can see here, if I'm pulling it back now, it looks like it's like separating. But the cart itself is like this black plastic cardboard type material. It looks like cardboard, but it's a plastic type. I'll take close-up pictures of this because I am using a GoPro and this doesn't focus too well. But these have been sitting in the water for a little over a week. Okay, so I had one facing up with the red side and the black side just sitting in the water the whole time, and then I had this one facing down with this pink side in the water, and they look exactly the same. You see that? It's still durable. I mean, unless you start picking at it and stuff, then it starts lifting. But it's not the black that's damaged. And I was kind of happy to see this when I received it, this black stuff, because this is kind of like the same stuff they use for like events and stuff, for those trash cans that they leave outside in the weather, and they hold up and they're very durable. And I actually had one of those brand new black trash cans that I had cut up and actually used for one of my project cars as a black window cover from the inside. And it sat in the back in the sun for about 3 years, and it was still dark, still black, never faded, still in, you know, good condition. So what I'm saying here is it sat in the water, like I said, for over a week. So if you got rain here, on and off, drizzle and stuff, this animatronic's gonna hold up, the carts at least. I don't know, I'm not speaking for the electronics because they're a little bit more exposed, but as far as the carts, if it's left in the rain, I mean, look at this. I mean, these sat in the water 24/7. You see that? So I just want all of you to know, it is not like a full cardboard. The box is not a full cardboard material. This is basically a plastic material. The decorated part may be like a laminated cardboard or some other sort of material that may bring you issues, but you could always print something else out and maybe dress up the sides of the carts if that ever became an issue. But I'm not too worried because this basically was sitting in the water for over a week. Now, rain gets on the product, falls off, dries, stuff like that. So I feel personally, don't hold me to it, that these should be okay. They should last for a couple of seasons. As for the outside decoration part, maybe last longer. Like I'm saying, I don't know. It looks like I can still, you know, pull this apart a little bit, but it's still holding up, you see? But it still kind of pulls a little bit back. So that's why I'm saying it may be like a laminated paper or something. But the actual cart itself, it's still strong, it's still durable. So that we don't have to worry about, okay? So getting back to the cart here. So what I want to show you is the red part is the part that may be an issue after a couple of seasons of sitting in the rain. The black part that actually is the main base of this, besides the metal part, shouldn't be a problem. This should hold up. So if you did have issues here, it may cause two things. One, it may cause us to give it a more scarier look because it'll start looking uglier. Or you could always redecorate this, you know, to your liking with, you know, whatever material you want. You could print something else in plastic, or maybe put a vinyl on here, or spray it, or, you know, be creative with it. This prop here can always be enhanced. Other than that, I didn't know. Actually, let's get back to the carts. So I just want to say these are not that big of an issue as I thought they were when I always heard they're cardboard, they're cardboard, they're cardboard. No, as long as it has this metal frame and this black piece that's going to be durable, the worst thing that could happen is you're going to have black carts, or it's going to be like a peeling look later on, maybe several years from now, depending. I mean, I don't know, I don't get a lot of rain here, but all I'm saying is water is not going to really do too much damage to the outside if it sits in here, because it will leak out. So I just want to give you guys a closer look on the inside. Let me pull this guy out. You see, because I know there's not too much information of how these look on the inside. And then I want to talk to you guys about the clowns also, but that's going to be for the carts here. So let's go over this one more time. The carts have an inside that's braced by metal. The cart itself is basically a plastic. The outside that has the design is the part that may be an issue later on. But like I said, if that ever becomes an issue, you can always be creative, make a vinyl on it. You can spray the plastic, you can always peel it all off, or you can flip them inside out and it'll be all black, and then you can paint them, you can put a vinyl on it. You can be creative with these. I mean, you can just use your imagination if you're crafty with your hands. So that kind of made things better for me when I basically bought this and actually got a closer look to it. Okay, so let's finish up there. If you have any other questions on the carts, you can always feel free to leave me a message, but let's move on to the next thing. As I was doing that, I noticed this piece here, and this is what I wanted to show you. Going back to the cards, is you see how this is separated from the actual black piece? Now this is the piece I told you that may be an issue later on, after maybe several seasons of sitting in the rain, because this piece here may be, you know, like a cardboard, but the actual main frame, besides the inside frame, is metal. This other frame, is the black piece, is plastic. So you're still gonna have a cart even though this outer piece, you know, deteriorates or anything. But like I said, I let these sit in for a week. I'm gonna keep letting them sit in to see until they finally, you know, dissolve, and then I'll make a video on that. But as far as these crates being an issue later on in life, they won't be, because I feel like if you are creative, you can still do something with these carts. Okay, all right everybody, so the next thing I had a problem with was the star. Now it looks different in the pictures and videos. You can't really tell because no one really focuses on this, but this star sucks. It doesn't look as bad as it does during the day and night. It looks kind of creepy, but I will be making something else for this. This is the only thing that I think is cheap on this Ferris wheel animatronic prop. But again, this should be fine. This should hold up. It's not a big issue, but I will be making something else because we're actually going to try to use this for a Christmas prop too. So we're going to change stuff up on this. So I'll keep you guys updated with that, how that turns out, what we decide on doing with it. But this can be changed. You can make whatever you want with it. You could attach something else to it. Look, let me show you what it looks like. Shasana on a pole. You could take this apart, slip something over, attach it to this, or don't attach it to it, whatever you like. Maybe you can make something to attach to the insides, because these do come apart. So maybe that was an issue for them. Maybe if you want to attach it with some hot glue just for the season, you can, but they don't all line up perfectly here, as you can see. So if you attach it here, see how it starts going off? So yeah, you see that, everybody? So that's the only con I have about this. So let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you guys about are the clowns. Now some of them you can't really tell in the pictures, but some of them don't have eyes here. I'll go through each one. He has eyes, and then this one kind of like he was supposed to have eyes, kind of don't have eyes. I don't know what's going on here, but they're like the same color as his face. So I'm gonna be painting these black because this just looks like it wasn't like done right. Same goes for him. And then this one doesn't have eyes. Now that's cool that they're not all the same, but for these two guys, I don't like that they couldn't paint the inside of the eyes black on these two. I like that he has eyes. It's kind of creepy. And then I like that these don't have eyes at all, which is creepy. So I like this look. This look is pretty cool, but this look just looks cheesy if you're looking at it close up. Okay, the other thing I want to talk to you guys about, let's get this guy at the bottom, is on all their other props, these clowns are pretty much full body, right? their feet are plastic, stuff like that. Now these hats come on and off with Velcro here, so you guys know. Now these, the way they go in is you basically just pull them out, and this is what they look like when you get them. Now they have no hands, they have no bodies, it's just a stick, and the stick goes in here towards the back. Now you can see a closer look of how the cart is. So now if you didn't have this outer plastic piece, you can still have the carts as a skeleton with them in there. You could also have these probably reversed, so you could reverse them so the carts are just all black, and maybe put your own logo on there. That's something to keep in mind. Like I said, if this does ever mess up, you can always flip these carts inside out. This plastic will be durable. All right, everybody, we're back. Dogs are going all crazy here. So what I was saying is basically, I think what I was saying is this cart could always be reversed, and then you can put vinyl, you could be creative with it if this ever became an issue. But let's get back to the clowns. So now the clowns, like I said, they don't have too much description on them, and like, you know, all their other props, they are full body. So I thought, hey, I was gonna get a full body prop, and that was pretty cool because maybe you could have one sitting off, you know, towards the side of the Ferris wheel. You know, I had all these ideas, but then when they came right here, no hands, no bodies. I mean, there's not really too much information out there, too much close-up stuff of these clowns. So I was like, I'm gonna make a video and we're gonna go through this thoroughly, no matter if it's an hour or 2-hour video, because I would love to have watched this and see what I was going to get, being that you're buying this prop and they're not cheap. So hopefully this video is going to help out a lot of people knowing what is going to come to them when they order this. So like I said, no hands, no bodies. Now the inside of their bodies, they are kind of like the animatronics as their shoulders. They are attached up here with the bracket on their necks. Their heads do not turn, okay? Now some of them, you see how they're looking to the side, it's basically just their whole body twisted. Now you cannot just turn their head by themselves because they are, like I said, attached to the plastic and to the head with 2 screws, and they have this shape here, like this plastic shield, kind of like the clowning around us. Let's see if I can open this up so I can show you. Here we go. So basically like this. So these are their shoulders, this sits over. That's how all the clowns are. They sit like this. Now if you wanted to get a little bit more creative with this, one idea I have that I will probably be doing next year, because it's 1 week from Halloween and I am still behind on making my final video of my front yard, but I want to get some dolls and maybe, or some little hands from some dolls, and basically put some hands on them, so you know, they're basically cruising around with their hand out the car, you know, like everything's okay, but it's not, because they will get you. Yeah, but I mean, those are little ideas I have to, you know, better the prop. But like I said, this one, no eyes, is all hollow on the inside, it's painted, Velcro hats, and they're not full bodies. The way they sit in, I'll show you right now, is, let's see if I could do this, trying to record and do it at the same time. You pop the stick into the hole, they slip in, that's it. And you put a piece of the, well, I can't do it with one hand, but you put a piece of, they have a slit on the side of them, and you slip one side over the bar and the other side sits over the bar like this. Let me just pull this off so I can show you. Might as well do it right. See the slit, so the bar sits in there. And then what you can do is, once they're slipped in, you, if you want them turned, you just turn the whole body like so. The motion of the Ferris wheel, basically what I want to explain to you guys is you can have them going in different directions. but it's basically of how you place the Ferris wheel and the actual clown props inside that does it. You can't actually have a switch here. So the way that works is, let me plug this in. So for instance, this one goes, you would call this what, counterclockwise. And if you wanted them to go the other way, all you do is turn the bodies. So you would turn the bodies the other way, and then basically they would be facing this way, but then you would have to turn the prop the other way. So that's just one thing to keep in mind, because sometimes you'll see them going in different ways. So mine is going this way, sometimes you'll see it somewhere else and they're going the other way. It's basically just how they're propped in there. Let me turn them around and then I'll show you the difference. That's exactly what I mean right there. I only turned a few. Oh, he almost tipped over because his hat was touching. That's funny. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Now they're going the other way. So you see how now they're coming down. All right, everybody, so there you have it. Now they're going the other way. So now they would be coming down instead of kind of going in the other motion of coming up. So this is going down, and this would be going up. So just by turning their bodies, it goes in a different way. You see that? So either way you can do it. It's basically personal preference, how you want it. But you know, just by seeing this, you would think, oh, is there a switch? Does it go a certain way? Does it go down? Does it go up? It's just the way you put the clowns propped inside is the way it goes. So if you face them this way, it'll be going up. If you turn them around, it's going to look like they're going down. So they're facing that way, it's going down. You face them this way, they're going up. Okay? So let's move on to the next thing. So now the one thing I will talk about is the only thing that I've noticed on the other two videos that I've seen on YouTube with this is everybody's had a problem with their cart coming a little bit damaged in shipping. Now mine had a defect. Let's see if I could find it. It is this one here, right here, where it looks like it's been punctured, but this one was actually slipped in as for the second one, because they come layered on the inside of the box, and this was like the second one, and it was like this. So this was done at the factory or when it was put inside the box. It wasn't from FedEx, UPS, stuff like that. So mine came damaged like this. I've seen others where they've had damage to the carts. Now that's the only thing that I've noticed that came messed up that I've seen that's actually uniformed with all the other ones. But again, like I said, these are basically, there's not too much information is what I'm saying out there. So that's what I'm trying to do, is put some information out there for those interested in buying it and they just want to see this really close up and detailed. And this is what I mean. I left one on here for you, is when you assemble it, they have the tabs here. You see that? And you basically rip them off and then you assemble it. So I got these. And what I did was I kept the other ones, and then I got two of these and I dumped them in the water the same day I put this together, and it's been a little over a week and a couple of days, maybe a week and a half, and they're still holding up. They're still doing good. I mean, I already discussed this in the beginning of the video. So let's move on to the other stuff here. Now the way these are assembled is a rod goes in between, and it's the way, okay, that's the other thing I want to actually talk about too, is when you look at this, you think that these carts are actually turning on the plastic itself, and they kind of are. If you see there, you see how it's already had some, you know, wear and tear there. So they are, but I thought there was not going to be any frame inside, and this is basically all they sit in, and they prop them inside, they sit down, and this turns on this plastic. So that's what I was kind of worried about too. When me and the wife were discussing on purchasing this, we're like, oh, the carts are pretty cheap. I was like, you know what, I'll make something out of sheet metal, or I'll make something else that's going to be more durable. Let's just get it because I like the concept of it, and I don't have to go out and build something. We can just get this, use it, and then enhance it, make it better how we want it. I have some other ideas for this too that I may do for next year, but the main thing is I wanted to get the props. I wanted to get the whole basis of this, just already done, and enjoy it, and do a little review on it. So like I said here, it does sit on it a little bit, but there's actually a frame in there that it actually sits on, so just keep that in mind. What else can I talk to you guys about? All the hats are detachable, clowns are not full body, this is cloth. The inside of the black piece of these carts are like a plastic. They're not cardboard. The outside may be cardboard, laminated. The frame is metal. It's put together by these little ball pins. So this went up really fast. The instructions are pretty much easy. Easy to assemble, disassemble. It's not a problem there. It goes in a small box. We'll talk about the music box here. So what I wanted to discuss with you guys that I thought that might be an option to this, which maybe they could add it later on in a revised one or something, is you have a sensor mode, an off mode, a try me on button. So basically the sensor one, I don't know how well this works, because then this would be having to face people, and I don't like this here. So they should have some sort of attachment where you can plug in, kind of like what they do. They have the step pad, an adapter where they can plug it in, run the sensor, and then maybe put it on a stake somewhere, maybe closer to a fence, so that way when someone passes by, this will go off. I do like how they have the feature that you can actually have it just continuously running, and then they have the volume knob, so you can actually have the music off and then just have it spinning. Now the one thing that I wish it did have was a speed controller. Now I might somehow modify this later on and add a speed controller to it. I have to figure this out, but I would like to be able to just slow it down so it spins like creepy, in a creepy way, just really slow and not so fast of how it just spins like really crazy. So that's something I would like added to this, is basically a speed controller. That would be a really cool option, and a sensor option where I wouldn't have to have this exposed in order to get it to go off. So that would be two things that I would say is a con to this, is no sensor attachment and basically a speed controller. I did try the sensor. It doesn't work too well, especially that I had to bag this and the sensor's in there. So I don't know if it's like a IR sensor where it picks up motion, or if it's basically a movement sensor where it has to feel like some sort of vibration or movement. So I don't know too much information on that because it didn't work really too well. So I just have it on the continuous motion, basically just running constant, and then I turn it off after about 5 hours or so, depending on my time, if it's during the week or during the weekend. So that being said, those would be the two things that I would have changed on this. So let's get a closer look here. So what I'm saying here is it's just such a big cutout here. So I have it bagged twice, going under and then one over, and then I have this one sitting over like a lip. So any water that does fall on top, it kind of washes away and keeps it from entering on the bottom side. If water does get anywhere right here, I mean, you can't completely stop it, but this is definitely going to help, because you can't completely block everything off, because this does have the motor here, and we're just trying to keep everything as protected as possible with this technique. This is the way I go. If you have a better way of doing so, or if you have another method, please share it with us. Please share it with me. That would be much appreciated. But again, if you do something like this, just keep the bags away from the motor. You don't want to jam it, burn it out, or anything. So if you do this, please do it at your own risk. Yeah, so the way I did it was I bagged it at the bottom, bagged it at the top, and the reason for that is because the bag that sits at the bottom will keep everything protected. Everything that sits on top will kind of keep everything from entering the bottom bag. So it acts like basically like a roof to a house. So that's what I did there to keep that protected. Everything else should be fine as far as the weather. So yeah, everybody. So there you have it, the review, and hopefully your questions answered on the 5-clown Ferris wheel animatronic. We went over quite a few things. We went over the star, which is basically cloth. We went over this, which is basically something you want to keep protected, and it is plastic. The build quality of this is all metal, so that's good. There's really not too much to be concerned about. The clowns are half bodies with no arms, no legs. Some have eyes, some don't have eyes, and some seem like they were not painted, which you might want to take care of that just to give it a little bit more spookier look. The carts, like I said, they actually have metal frames on the inside, and they sit on basically this to help spin on the rod. The cardboard does sometimes hit, like we showed on this one here and this one here, which may add some usage and some rubbing issues later on, but I'm sure you can better maybe attach it to the frame with maybe some double-sided tape to keep that from happening, like there. Everything else is good as far as the carts, because like we said, the frames on the inside are metal, they're gonna last. The whole shell of it is a plastic kind of cardboard looking material, but the design itself I would say is maybe a laminated cardboard or some sort of laminated paper that is holding up so far. I've had these little pieces in water for a little over a week and they haven't fell apart, so they should hold up for a couple of seasons. I can't say guaranteed it will, but they seem to be doing good in the water. I will keep them in that water for as long as possible to see if they actually do break up, and if they do, I will keep you guys updated so everybody out there will know about this logo here. So that's a little test I'm doing. It's not a guarantee, but yeah, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask me in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. And like always, everybody, keep decorating, keep building things that spook you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. So now you can see that this paper has faded and has a little bit more damage here. You can see the edges, how it lifts up. And I think it's been about 3 weeks that it's been sitting in the water. But if I am wrong, I will post how long it's been on this video that I'm gonna add to the Ferris wheel video. So there you have it. Can you see there? Let's get some better lighting. Let me zoom in so I can show you guys. You see that? But the black piece, which is the plastic, is fine. It's still hard, still has good form to it. It's just this outer piece that has helicopter. It's just this outer piece here that has the graphics on it that seems to be taking a hit, and it's kind of fading, I guess, a little bit with the water. Let me see, I'll tell you right now. Let me pull the other one out. No, it's not, because one of them was a little bit darker than the other, so it's still holding the color. It just seems to be a little bit weathered. This one was face down. Oh, sorry. This one was face down, and it's not peeling. This one was the one facing up, and it's lifting up a little bit, but it can be from the previous video when I was showing how it's taken a beating. But yeah, you can see there, it's like a plastic material. So these carts will hold up as far as the black stuff, but with this graphics, I don't know how long it will last in weather. But it has been sitting in this water, and after I made the video that I'm showing you guys, I did fill it up again, and then I popped these in, and now the water ran down. So it's been quite some time these have been sitting in there, and I knew I wasn't going to get to this video till after Halloween, so I was gonna save this until after the video so you guys can see, because there's a lot of other places that get a lot more rain than I do. So I just wanted people to know what they're getting into, especially dumping money into a prop like this, like an animatronic that they want to add to their collection. I just want to make that a note. And then also after the season, since I've taken everything down, I just want to show you a few things also, or talk about a few things. So I'll actually tell you, because I actually put the stuff away, but on my carts at the top where they sit, they peeled back a little bit, but it's because they didn't apply too much glue there, so it's not really a big deal. But what I would say is you would have to add some glue to it and maybe get a weather stripping to cover the, let's say if this was the cart, like a weather stripping just to cover the top. It's a rubber weather stripping you can get like an auto parts store or something. It's basically what you see on people's doors, so they don't like scuff the edges if they open it by a wall or anything. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get something like that, very thin, and then just like put it on top of the cart, so that way if weather does fall on it and stuff, it just keeps it from going inside of that red paper material, whatever it is. It can't be paper because it would have deteriorated already. It is something else, I just don't know. But I do know the black stuff is pretty much plastic and it's gonna hold up. But I'm gonna add that weather stripping for the next season, and I'm gonna be applying some glue when I start bringing out the product, just to keep that more intact. All right, everybody, I hope this helps you guys out with this animatronic. It does need a little bit of work, but it is worth it. I had a lot of compliments on it. Everybody was shocked of how cool it was, and how I had a miniaturized Ferris wheel in my front yard. Not miniaturized, but it's almost about 6 feet, not quite. Yeah, the Ferris wheel, it says on the box it's like around 6 feet, but it's not. I think it's like, I don't know, 5'10", around there, because I'm not 6 feet and I'm the height of it, kind of. So yeah, it is definitely a piece to have. It did get a lot of compliments and people really like that piece, so I would definitely add it to your collection. All right, everybody, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.